All right. Peace, everybody, and welcome to the Herbalist Lounge. We're so glad that you are here. Today, we are gathering up to talk about edible and medicinal flowers, and some people are still coming in. So we're going to allow people to roll on in. Everybody's mic is pretty much muted, but if you are new here, just please make sure you mute your mic. And as we let everybody ride on in, um, the old heads, y'all know how this goes. So feel free to introduce yourselves, tell us where you're from or the place that you're repping, and what herb is resonating with you.
Hey everybody, it's Clarissa. I am from Kansas City, Missouri, but I'm in Covington, Georgia. Um, and the herb that's resonating with me is red raspberry leaf tea. I'm serving a lot of mommies in postpartum, so that's been really high on my radar.
Nice.
Love
Welcome.
it. Mhm.
We love to see you here.
Thank you.
Sharonda, what's up? Hello.
Mhm.
Hello, I'm back. I was gone for like two. This cough. Uh-oh. And I am with Clarissa. I'm repping red raspberry. Feeling that for the last probably month. I've been doing hibiscus and red raspberry for some reason. It's just been my thing.
That sounds
A
so
little wound
lovely.
care, a little wound care for me. And it's this older age that I'm approaching. And that's been my two herbs, hibiscus and red raspberry, a mixture. And I'm repping back in New Jersey now, but representing West Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay, now.
Well, welcome and peace. Thanks for tuning in. Mhm.
Who else is in here? Hey, Yazzie. Hibiscus and mint have been resonating with me, representing Dallas. What's up? All right.
We got hibiscus heavy tonight. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mallow family representing once again.
Uh-oh. What about you, Asia? What you feeling tonight?
Creole saute. Had to sing a little song.
Well, okay. Let's start a little flow here.
Yeah. So now that I'm getting settled into the desert over here, I mean Creole saute or Creole saute, however you pronounce it, has just really been resonating with me for like the last couple of months. When I lived in the desert a while ago, about a decade ago now, she came to me. And so now she's back and she's like, all right, it's time to commune again. So she's calling. And I'm in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Martina, what you feeling?
Oh my goodness, y'all. So I have to be honest with you. I'm feeling a lot of stuff tonight. I went ahead and just made a quick brew with a bunch of flowers. Let's see, what do I have in here? I have some rose hips. I have some rose petals. I have some calendula and some purple pea flower. Yeah. And let me go ahead and take a look to the steeping right now. Make sure that's all I have in here. I think that's all I have. And it's brewing and I can't wait to start sipping on it while I talk to y'all. I've never had that combo before, but I'm really excited about it. And yes, I am repping Florida, FLA. Yes, that's right, Clarissa. Snap, snap, yummy, yummy.
Well, y'all, it's 2 a.m. in the morning here. So I'm feeling y'all on all these red flowers. I have some rose petals in my drink here, but I got some chamomile too. So I have some rose petal and hibiscus tea, and that stuff gets you going. But I don't need to be going. I need to be going out. So I'm sipping on some rose petals and chamomile. And I am repping for the moment Frankfurt, Germany. And but I'm still that Commerce, Texas. Whoop whoop.
Texas. Nice. I love it.
Who else? I don't know if anybody could see that. Somehow, I think I drew on the screen on the chat. I don't know, but if I'm the only one, that's cool. All right, the chat. Hey, Tatiana. Okay, so soursop leaf and hibiscus, okay, has been resonating with her. And Tatiana is from New York. Welcome, welcome. All right. Is it Kia or Kaya from Houston and Comfrey? Comfrey's a nice
Mhm.
one. All right. I think we got everybody covered. People were still coming in, but we were just talking about what herb is resonating with us tonight, where we're from. Everybody's just saying hello. So welcome everybody. If you've been here before, welcome back. And for everybody else, welcome to the First Herbalist Lounge. So there's a few people here who are facilitating this conversation this evening. So we have Martina. What's up, Martina?
What up? Peace.
All right. We also have Lanita. What's up, Lanita?
I'm up.
And then you have me, I'm Asia. All right. So we like to take the time to honor the work of our plant sisters and our ancestors and all the beings that came before us. We're so grateful that they have paved the way for us to be able to be herb nerds today and meet up and talk about plants and just tap into that plant wisdom that is so abundant and around us. So we just like to give time to honor that. Okay. So, oh, it's still loading. So we have a bunch of edible flowers. Bunch of edible flowers. So let's talk about it for a second, y'all. Edible and medicinal flowers. So, what are some flowers that come to mind when you think of edible or medicinal flowers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for y'all that are in the hot, dry places, you got some henbit. That's the first thing that pop up in the spring. It is so pretty and it tastes really good. You can just, as long as you don't have dogs walking around, you can just wrench it off and throw it in your salad. It's really tasty. And in Texas, the henbit is a pretty magenta pink color, but I also see some white henbit here in Germany, and it's actually sweeter than the magenta henbit. So that's my edible flower.
Nice.
When I think the first thing that comes to mind when I think of edible flowers, not necessarily just the word edible and flowers, you come to mind, Asia, and I think about nasturtium. I don't know what it is about nasturtium, but you've planted something in my brain that makes me think of that that flower. And how you describe it, the spiciness of it and the beautiful colors and the photos, your nasturtium salads and how you spread it on the fruit. So when I think about edible flowers, that's the first one that pops to my mind.
Nice. All right. I think everybody's audio is okay. Just is everybody else's audio okay? I'm hearing okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing okay.
All right.
Yeah, I am.
All right, just double checking. All right. Tiffany, hello. And Jennifer, I'm not sure if we mentioned you from Decatur. Welcome. And Barrage. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, barrage. Come on now.
Barrage aficionados. Okay, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome. Tiffany's from Atlanta. Lemon balm has been on my mind today, and I harvested some dandelion out of my yard. Awesome.
Nice.
Mhm. Okay.
Tiffany, did you get the flowers or the roots?
Mm.
I got the flowers in the stem. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the flowers in the stems. We do have cats that use the bathroom in our yard, and I was like, I don't know about these leaves and roots. I know they ain't touched the flowers in the stem, but I don't know. Yes, and thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being here.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, Clarissa says Whole Foods sells edible flowers. They certainly do. That was
Okay.
outside of a kid. That was like, as an adult, that was my first encounter with edible flowers. I was like, oh, you can eat these right here? Let me be fancy. Right. Adrian says lemon balm and chives. Ooh, nice. Dandelion comes to mind, Clarissa says. All right. I think about, I mean, all of these flowers, like all of these flowers at some point in time were either in my yard or like Martina, that picture down in the left-hand corner, she took that picture of me at the Botanical Garden in New York.
The BX, baby.
Hey.
Only the largest botanical garden in the Western Hemisphere. Oh, sorry.
Only. But yeah, like when I think of edible and medicinal flowers, some are sweet, some are bitter, some are, like I'm thinking of lavender. I want to use the word medicinal because that's the best word I can use. Like that eucalyptus type of taste to it. Some don't really have much of a taste at all. But I always think about those things when I think of the medicinal flowers, like the actual taste. But yeah, so like on here, you see the passion flower, you see the lemon bee balm and the sunflowers and the black-eyed Susan and the mullein flowers. Um, and up there in the corner, there's the what is it? The cactus flower, Martina, you will have a better name for it than I do right now. The nopales, the flowers to go with that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, all of those can be used in so many different ways. And also I think about like the time when I lived in Hawaii and you have all these leis. So, people using leis to welcome you and to say, we'll see you later, never goodbye. But like also the coolness that it brings to you. Like if you're like hot, the petals, they absorb that heat. And so it just kind of keeps you cool as well too. So those are some of the things I think about.
Did anybody else know passion flower was called maypop? I was reading a book and
Yes.
I just
Oh, yeah.
learned that passion flower was. I've been knowing maypop forever, but I didn't know that was passion flower.
Hmm. Yep, that's some
Oh,
combination.
well, okay. I'm late to the party, but it's good.
We have a couple comments in the chat. Let's see. So Tiffany's shouting out, bigging up clover flowers. Yes, love the clover flowers. Those were some of the first flowers that would greet me in the springtime in the Bronx. When I was first learning how to identify plants before they started blooming. So yes, love clovers. And Jennifer says, which is this is not a shameless question at all. I think it's a great question. We just started daycare and our immunity is beat down. We are playing hot potato. Please advise. So,
What's our favorite
any
flower, Martina, for that? That
elderflower? Oh,
rudbeckia.
rutabaga, what y'all know about that rutabaga? I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over to you, Lenita, because you went in on that rutabaga.
Yeah.
That black, aka Black Eyed Susan.
That
Mm-hmm.
black-eyed Susan and Jennifer, you in Texas, and that stuff is
Yes.
popping, I'm sure by now. But that rudbeckia tincture, and for the babies, you can make it with, I made it one with vinegar, and it tastes just like pickle juice. It was good. But it is, rudbeckia actually is more immune building than echinacea. So that's a good one, and it's around you everywhere, and it's so easy to make. And it's the actual roots on that, not the flowers. We use the flowers to dye some fabric, but the roots for the tincture.
Nice. And Candace says, I personally love sorrel.
Mhm.
Come on now. Who does not like sorrel? Okay, let me find out. One of my favorites
Well,
too.
how many names we got for sorrel?
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go. We know it's a hibiscus plant, and I ain't gonna mess up the Spanish name this time, Asia. Remember?
Micah.
Agua
Oh, it's fine.
Jamaica. Oh my goodness, we
Oh,
don't
yeah, it's Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
Mhm.
Woo.
And Bsop
Bisa,
and Gobo.
Gobo, okay.
Yeah, I'm all over the African continent.
Let's go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And that's the calyx. That's what's used, and it's part of the flower. So that is
Mhm,
totally appropriate for tonight. I love it.
mhm. And it's good for everything.
Hmm.
Oh, and if y'all don't know, the Bsop leaves are fantastic. You can eat them. They are good.
Especially the young ones. I put them in a salad. Mm.
Mhm. You know what? I cooked them in callaloo, and the thing that they used in the Caribbean, the plant that they use there, the Bsop leaves are an acceptable substitute for that flower that they use, that plant they use. I can't think of the name of it, but the Bsop flowers are awesome if you cook them because they got that mucilaginous okra kind of thing feel to it. Yeah, so if y'all are callaloo fans, get you some Bsop leaves. It's good.
Hmm. And speaking of mallow family, I have to take it there because some of my favorite plants and some of my favorite flowers are mallow family plants just because they have that moistening, mucilaginous component. Good for
Mhm,
colds, coughs, sore throats, respiratory, soothing the skin on the, from bug bites. Of course, okra flowers are amazing. Good old Althea officinalis, aka marshmallow, right? Um,
mhm.
another one of my favorites, which I think is so pretty, Chinese lantern. That's a mallow family. And the flowers are so beautiful, but they also have that mucilaginous texture. And of course, cotton flowers too. Mallow family is just amazing. So, hmm.
Martina, you got me Googling. I ain't never heard of no Chinese lantern flowers.
Look it up. You'll see how beautiful it is. Look it up.
I see. It is beautiful. I'm looking at it. I heard of China berries, but not Chinese lantern. And you can eat that? It's good
Mhm.
when stuff is pretty and you can eat it.
Yep. Same family as hibiscus. And one of my
Mm.
favorite hibiscus is the cranberry hibiscus because it has the red foliage all year, all year. So even when it's not flowering, like the leaves have such a similar taste and energy to the flowers. And it's just all year and they propagate so easy. All you got to do is just cut a few branches and they take so well in this Florida sandy soil.
Yeah. Looking in the chat, Jennifer, the
Uh-oh.
Black-Eyed Susan is it is there and it's I don't know about strong. I know it's effective though. It is really good for immune boosting. I It may be a good expectorant too, especially if you put it in, if you're making some cough syrup with honey or something. I'm sure that it would be fantastic for that. And then someone said, yeah, I'm just getting used to this computer thing here.
Lanita, someone's talking about Indian paintbrush.
Hey, you know that. I love me some Indian paintbrush.
So Jennifer says I accidentally found out that Indian paintbrush is in the mint family.
Hmm. I don't know if you can eat Indian paintbrush though, can you?
Hmm.
Probably so. I've used it for a lot of other stuff though.
Let's,
Oh, sorrel.
some
Some
we
Candace said, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
oh,
Asia.
I was about to say, before we go down the common name rabbit hole, we should probably make sure we're talking about the same Indian paintbrush.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
So if there is a picture available, or if there's like a botanical name, then we can double check it.
But Candace says something about sorrel. Okay, sorrel is so good for so many things because it's very rich in vitamin C. And it is good for menstruation, helping with cramps, easing cramps. It's good for energy. It's good if you drowsy and need to stay awake. That sorrel will do it. And that's not just all the sugar in it, it's just the plant by itself. So, and like I said, you can decorate your food with it. If you actually get some fresh leaves, I mean, the flesh flower petals, but the leaves are edible. So that's just an all around good plant. Uh-oh.
Staghorn plantain. I'm over here looking for a Latin name for the Indian paintbrush. That's not one that I'm really familiar with over here, to be honest with you. I know, Lanita, you've been talking a lot about it recently.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I never even thought about looking for the real name. Asia gonna bring in that herb nerd stuff.
Mhm.
No, and I only brought it in just because, we're like talking about different benefits. And so sometimes,
Hmm.
when we start doing that, then it's like, oh wait, you talk about this one or you talk about that one. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's
Uh-huh.
like we were talking yesterday about life everlasting in Texas. It's they call it rabbit tobacco, and it's called life everlasting also, but the Latin name is Phytolacum something. And other places they call rabbit tobacco a different herb, and it does not have the same Latin name. So it is important to know those Latin names. But that rabbit tobacco is a go-to plant. It is a great one. Oh, you know what? I just pulled it up. It says Indian paintbrushes are only in Texas. Maybe that's why we know about it.
It's giving me Mullen vibes the way it just goes up that stalk.
Mhm.
No, I'm just really intrigued. Like, taxonomy. Let's see.
Well, it's high in selenium. Oh, hey, Asia, this is about you. In Nevada, the indigenous tribes used it for STDs. That's
So
a good plant.
anything red, I think about you,
Mhm.
especially when you talking about using them in certain places.
Oh, yeah. Oh, also used as a love charm. So, hey, Jennifer, I don't think you need that. All right, so there we go. Oh, is
Nice.
staghorn plantain different from other plantain? The green plantain? What's that? I don't know.
Hmm.
I love all this stuff you're putting in the chat, Jennifer. Have you seen its relationship with bluebonnets, the Indian paintbrush?
Oh, yes.
So they tend to grow with one another in Texas.
Yeah, because Lady Bird Johnson had the highways planted with all them seeds. The children don't need no good books or nothing. Let's plant these wildflowers all over the state.
Oh.
Let's get in the flowers with the rattlesnakes. Let's do that.
That's it. Oh, sit them babies in them blue bonnets to take pictures with them.
But truth be told, I still want to do that though.
Uh,
Elderflower is good for salves. I like to make it for this. You can make it for the skin if you have it. Y'all know I have elderflower out here. It's blooming in a bunch.
Definitely love some elderflower.
Mm-hmm.
Good for the skin, good for the allergies.
Yup. Fever, it's moistening. Um, I don't talk about it a lot for salves, but you definitely can infuse it in oil and it has a strong affinity to the skin. Bruises, rashes, irritation, basically does the same thing external that it does internal.
And it tastes good too. Woo!
Tastes delicious.
For y'all that don't know, elderflower is what they use to flavor champagne. And we ain't talking about that reunited sparkling stuff. They use it for real champagne.
Mm-hmm. Elderflower champagne.
That's the
Plumeria.
flavor.
Plumeria is also good. Smells good. And you can make a scent out of it.
Beautiful. You can make what out of it?
An infused oil with the flowers.
Oh.
Not only does it smell good, but it's anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all trying to make me think here. You gonna keep asking them
Well,
Latin
look at,
name.
do you see the pictures, Lanita? Look at that. It's you and your favorite. Rudbeckia.
Oh, there we go. We got some black eyed Susan, the rudbeckia, the bougainvillea. And for people, if anybody is living in a dry, hot place, I was wondering why there's so much bougainvillea in Senegal. It's because it thrives in dry, hot places with bad soil. So there you go. Get you some bougainvillea.
Whew.
Beautiful. And they smell so good.
Does anyone know the Latin spelling for rabbit's tobacco?
Oh, I'm looking it up right now. It's the other name is Texas cudweed, and I just looked that up last week, and I know it, but I don't know it.
Is it that one? Oh, I'm gonna mess this up. Pseudonaphilium.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
I
I
put
know it's a
Symposium.
yeah.
it's it's a pseudo name, but I know it's not the real name. Yeah.
And it has synonyms too. Oh, fun. Tons of synonyms.
Mm-hmm.
Aster family. You gotta love your aster family plants.
And that rabbit tobacco is fantastic for, um, inhaling, smoking. The indigenous people used to smoke it, but it's great for respiratory. It's kind of like in same with mullein, but I just recently found out you can drink it. It's a good tea, and it still helps with the respiratory and throat problems. Uh, yeah, Pseudonaphalium obstulifolium. That's it. But the common names are rabbit tobacco, Texas cudweed, and also life everlasting. And they say they called it life everlasting because they said if you use this, you never would get sick. So, yeah, this is a popular plant. I think Martina, don't they use that in Jamaica too?
Which one? The life everlasting?
Yeah, life everlasting.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, oh, we haven't talked about my favorite plant. My favorite plant, and I know her Latin name, Prunella vulgaris. Uh,
And
Prunella vulgaris is called heal all or self heal, and it is beautiful. It is popping up now in the spring. Um, she is fantastic for everything. That's one of those. That's why it's called healed all. The flowers look like a mouth. So the doctrine of signatures, they thought it was great for sore throats, and it is good for what you call it, fever blisters or cold sores around the mouth. It's good for any kind of ailments inside the mouth and sore throats. It's actually good on herpetic lesions if you have those little canker sores. So Heal All is fantastic. And I can tell y'all that my dog had 5 ticks in her eye, poor baby. We pulled all the ticks out of her eye and her eye was just trash. And I made a eye spray for her, and within a week, because her eye was so red, it just looked like it would look bloody. And using that heal all in her eye, it cleared up in 1 week and the skin started coming back. I've made heal all salve. Heal all is also used for tired eyes for a lot of us sitting around computer screens all the time. Your eyes dry out and are sore. You can make just make sure it's distilled water, and you can make your heal all with that and squirt it in the eyes to refresh the eyes. So that's one of my go-to plants. I love it.
Mhm.
all right, we have some questions forming here in the chat. So these are around pregnancy, birthing, caring for children. So let's see. First question is, what edible flowers to implement in pregnancy? And are there any herbs you would ever mix with boob milk?
That's Jennifer's area of expertise, that mixing stuff with milk. She want to make breast milk ice cream.
Jennifer asked it.
Go ahead, stick some flowers in there. Yeah, that's her.
She said, okay, Lanita. Too funny.
I think breast milk has everything that you need. You don't need to add nothing to that.
I mean, I also think of which part of pregnancy too. Postpartum, definitely
Yes.
your flower, your steams for sure. Lots and lots of flowers for your steams. External applications are always on a safer note. Calendula resonates with me heavily, um, just as like an external oil for breast congestion. Dandelion
What was
flowers are good.
what was the popsicle that we made for postpartum? Remember, we made a popsicle.
Was it lemon balm?
It
Trying to
was
remember.
something that was, yeah, it was some type of popsicle that we made for that area.
The cooch sickles.
Yeah, that's right.
When I think of red raspberry, I know that's a big pregnancy herb. I also think about strawberry flowers. Those are also used. Strawberry leaf and the flowers as an astringent in like the third trimester. Also for children, blackberry flowers and strawberry flowers for diarrhea. They're both very astringent, just like raspberry, same rose family plants.
See, I was about to go down that lane with some rose family plants. If we're talking about like sitz baths, things like that. So definitely.
And then also for sore throats too. So it's good for that too. I know sometimes my throat sore, you can make a little spray or a gargle. You don't have to ingest a lot. I love mallow family plants. Once again, I know I keep going back to it. Just because it just keeps things moist, when you think of breastfeeding and just lubrication, flow, just of course hydration, water, hydration, mallow family, okra, hibiscus, althea infusions.
Yeah. Okay. Crimson.
What's some flowers that y'all like?
Any flower recommendations for fibroids? Someone asked the question.
Any of that are astringent. I don't know. No, it's not a flower, it's a plant, but witch hazel is good. If you're using it as like a yoni steam or sitz bath, I guess that would be the word. Oh, castor, the castor plant. Castor is really good for fibroids. They make What do you call
Poultices.
that? When you
Poultice.
the heat thing you put on your over your hoo not your hoo-ha, you put it on actually on your belly.
Castor
So with
oil
the hot
pads and
oil.
poultices. Hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
There we go.
I'm one of them unlucky ones. I get anywhere near castor oil and I'm going heading straight to the bathroom. I don't know. It's like, touch on my fingertips. That's it.
Oh
A
no.
cleansing herb.
Mhm.
Look, Rissa, you killing me with them
Castor
emojis.
is the devil. Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Man, still have memories of castor oil getting lined up to drink some castor oil.
Yeah, that used to be the family thing. Get ready for school, clean you out.
Let's see. So, okay, let me go back a little bit because I know we got some activity going down.
Yeah.
Yezi was asking about crimson clover, if it's edible, and then Adrian was asking which plants would you recommend for a starter medicinal garden? Okay. Yeah, those were the two that we missed. So,
Oh,
mm, so just red clover? That's what you mean, Yezi? Yeah, if we're talking about the same
Mm.
thing, yes.
Yeah, I think it's red clover. I use a plant identifier app, and there was a lot of it in the yard, and so it came up as crimson clover. I didn't see it as red clover because I thought that was my first thought. I thought it was red clover, but it's kind of like pink to the like when you look at it, it's almost pink and kind of ombres down to white. Um, so I was curious to know if it was edible or if there's any uses for it medicinally.
Did it give you a botanical name too?
Ooh, I would have to.
Trifolium incarnatum, aka crimson clover.
Mhm.
oh,
Trifolium incarnatum.
Let's see. Hold that.
I think that's it because it's like 3 petals, 3 leaves.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And let
The
me.
flowers and sprouts are edible and similar in taste to the appearance to alfalfa sprouts, and they're also used in agriculture, of course, for nitrogen fixation. Mm. You know what else
that's
is in the pea family, right, Lanita? What's one of your favorite plants? Flowers. It's yellow.
Mhm.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yellow
What about in
flower.
Jamaica?
Oh, really? Yeah. That's the candle bush. Not
That's
Phytolacca. Senna alata.
yeah,
Mm.
that's also the pea family, same family as clover.
Oh, yeah,
Hmm.
that's a go-to plant too.
Word. It really is. And I found out that five species are native to Florida, Lanita. So we in
Yes.
there. And it likes
Yes.
to grow in this
Yes.
sandy soil. So we have a
Yes.
winner.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So
And it
all of
has
y'all.
several medicinal properties like that you always talk about. I love it. And
Yes.
it's
Uh,
interesting because we're talking about clovers, and you know how like clovers have an affinity for like cleansing internally.
mhm.
And senna also has like that cleansing externally. You let us know that it's great for like fungal infection, skin irritation, so cleansing externally, but also internally for the gut. It's a common laxative, right?
Mhm.
So many
Mhm.
uses.
And because, again, back to our doctrine of signatures, because the plant looks like the flowers come up and it looks like an erection, they were trying that for ED in men. And actually, it's supposed to be because you dry the flowers and powder them and put them in capsule, and it's supposed to be effective for ED.
Okay.
Anybody want to try it? I made some capsules up. Don't have a guinea pig. But it's the most beautiful flowers.
Yeah, they
And
are.
it will grow in Texas. I brought some seeds from Senegal and grew them in Texas. So the heat and bad soil, it's like, okay, we love it.
Vetch, yes.
Mm.
I think that's also pea family, Jennifer, because that was one of the
Yeah.
first pea family plants that I've found when we were out on a plant family plant walk. Was that one vetch? Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Look at that.
What's the big plant? It's good for cholesterol. Was it thistle? Milk thistle?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's a Martina, remember it was so huge. We were looking, I had one growing in the field and it was so big, but
It
it
was a
had gotten
thistle.
hard.
It was as
It was
tall
a
as I was. It was about 6, 7, 8 feet tall.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
And that
some
one is
thistle.
great for lowering cholesterol. Very
Mm-hmm.
effective.
And it's so interesting because we're talking about seeds, we're talking about oils. You mentioned castor oil, and
Hmm.
most of a lot of oils are pressed from the seeds, and we have to be appreciative of flowers because where did the seeds come from?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So it's like the precursor. In a sense, I can't help but think about how flowers kind of heal the environment, They're the healers of the environment. And then once they're fertilized, what do? They drop off and they go back in the soil, decompose, and they add nutrition back to the soil. So
Mhm.
Recycling, just like we can do ourselves now. Bury me and let some trees grow up out of me.
Hey, so Adrian, which region did you say that you lived in? Because I think that that would determine what would be good for a medicinal starter garden. And then,
That's true.
yeah.
In
oh
Southwest
yeah.
Georgia, my dirt is mostly red clay.
Ooh.
In the South.
You in Mississippi?
No, South Georgia.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Mississippi got that terrible red clay too.
Yeah, we got that terrible red Georgia clay.
Don't tell Sister Beverly that. She'll tell you all about that wonderful clay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if I need to start making pots or growing herbs because I mean, the red clay is everywhere.
Mhm.
Let
So
me,
I guess usually if
You
I'm
know
planting
what?
flowers or something, I use potting soil. But what would be a good starter?
What
yeah,
I would suggest,
go ahead.
I'm in Florida, so certain parts do have the red clay here for sure. But we also have very, very sandy soil. It's literally like a beach, in my backyard. It's pure sand. So a good place to start where I might not give you exact type of plants, but I started off by just looking at Florida native plants, Florida native flowers. And I know Georgia has a native flower resource.
Mm.
See what the native flowers are. That's always a good place to start because the Florida native flowers are the coreospis or the tickweed. I saw someone mention it already. The senna, there's several senna species um, that are native to Florida. Goldenrod's native to Florida. St. John's wort is native to Florida. A certain type of mullein flower called not the great mullein, but it's called twiggy mullein. But they're all native species to Florida specifically, and it's amazing because it's good for the environment. They're all medicinal, and um it like twiggy mullein, for example, may not be the same as common mullein, but when you look at it, they're the same family. They have very similar properties. And Lanita always brings this up. You look up indigenous or Native American uses, and you can see tons of uses for coreospis, for example. Similar, like you said, with rudbeckia, even I don't want to say better, but has amazing properties similar to the more commonly used echinacea. So I always suggest look at your native plant species because it's also good for the environment and it'll probably thrive and do a lot better in your biosphere and where you're at.
Yeah, and that's really
And
good.
Adrian, I like to cheat. Let me tell you, if there's an A&M college there, and I'm sure there are some A&M schools there, go to their website, and what they will do is tell you what are broadleaf weeds, what are small weeds. They will tell you how to get rid of them, what pesticides to get rid of them. But we call weeds volunteers. They just volunteer to grow there. You don't have to plant them. Some of those weeds are really good. So the A&M colleges usually, especially for your agriculture people that are looking for how did they kill this weed or that weed, the A&M colleges will list all the plants that are native to your state, and they'll have it broken down by region. And you can get a list of what's good there, and you can see some plants that are medicinal and that have multiple uses too.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And those are really good resources. I just went on my aunt's Facebook page because she's in Savannah, and she plants everything. So I'm just looking through her pictures, but a lot of it she has in pots because she has to deal with the red clay soil as well. But what I do see in the ground, she has a certain variety of roses, which is not named. So it would be good to double check your area because that's medicinal. She has palms in the ground, which is really cool. And I'm not sure what species or variety of the like palm it is. I don't know if she's actually growing bananas out there. It looks like a banana tree, quote unquote. And then just on the ground, just looking, I see some clovers. And it looks like some chickweed is on her ground, like just growing as a volunteer. And no, I don't know about that one. That's kind of, but definitely that's some good advice. Just double checking to see what else grows in the area, and then if there's stuff that you are still interested in growing, like there might be like and this is just me looking at her picture, but like she's growing strawberries, but she's growing them in a pot. But there might be a variety of strawberries that grows really well out there. And like Martina said earlier, you could use strawberry flowers, strawberry leaves, in addition to, just the regular um, strawberries that you're eating because they have that tannin effect as well. So yeah, just whatever you're interested in growing, just see if there's like a native plant or a plant that's within that same family that is conducive to your area.
That's right. Okay.
To the next slide. Okay. Martina, you want to talk about anything on this one in particular?
Yeah, I think we actually covered a lot of these pictures. Some of my favorite flowers that I've been working with lately, actually. Of course, the elderflower. And we're lucky out here in Central Florida because the ones we have, they actually bloom 3 times a year. And of course, the plumeria, we spoke about that. On the bottom left, you see the mullein flowers. That's the twiggy mullein. That mullein oil that I made, it's going to last a long time. It lasts us the whole year, that little jar. And I add garlic to it as well. Has an affinity just for like skin irritations and also ear aches. And you know what it's really good for too? Because I use olive oil and I infuse it with fresh mullein flowers. And I find that when I use the olive oil, it doesn't go rancid when I use fresh flowers, which is dried. Also, the olive oil is so good when like with young children, they get a lot of wax buildup. It's great for that. A few drops in there and it softens it up and it comes right out. So yeah. And I couldn't help but up the top is, good old rose. We talked about rose family. Asia again mentioned strawberry flowers. But at
Is
the
that
bottom,
Queen Anne's lace? No, that's elderflowers on the side, on the left.
yeah, that's elderflower.
Mhm.
Mhm. And I couldn't help but to share one of the most beautiful flowers on the land, which is, you guys know what that flower is down there at the bottom? It's the elephant ear flower. Um, and up close, it's just so beautiful. I just had to admire it. So,
Elephant ears have flowers?
oh yeah,
Oh,
isn't
must
that
only be in
beautiful?
Florida. It
They don't
is.
always
I've never
flower.
seen one.
They don't always flower, but the
Okay.
ones down here, they flower all the time. They flower all the time.
Nice.
But you
Nice.
know, they get big. The ones we have out here are big as skyscrapers. They're
Mhm.
house because they're just out on that land, and then the swamp is back there. So, and the wild boars have just been tearing them up. The wild boars will tear up the roots and eat them lately. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I just think it's beautiful, that beautiful geometry. Um, I'm not gonna get too math nerdy on y'all on the geometry and stuff of the flower, but I just thought we have to appreciate it. It's so beautiful up close.
Mhm.
But also, that's a good part to talk about because we have different types of flowers on here, right? So sometimes we're like, excited to identify something in nature, and then our app, a lot of us use Seek, will identify, a plant, but it's always good for us to take notice, like how many petals and sepals does this flower have? What is the shape? What is the color? What's the variety of the colors? And compare it so we can properly identify it as well. So we can make sure we have the right plant and the right flower.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the yellow flowers, there's so many different ones out here right now. We got the sennas, St. John wort, the calendula, all the aster family plants out here. I'd be like, there's so many yellow flowers. Which one is which?
You have a request to go down the rabbit hole of geometry, Martina.
All right, well, since you asked. Oh my goodness. So let's count these sides. If you look at them, they're kind of like hexagons, right? I always tell my students mathematics is just it's the language of the universe, right? It's no coincidence. It's the blueprint. And nature exemplifies that in so many different ways. Like we call it the Fibonacci sequence, that golden ratio, the spiral. We see it in a lot of plants. Matter of fact, I saw a bromeliad the other day on a walk, and bromeliads are in the same family as pineapples, right? So we were looking at the spiral-like pattern of pineapples. You can see that golden ratio, that spire, that proportion, and almost a lot of things that you see in nature, like the fingerprint. Um, but why is it? Why is it that we have all these different mathematical principles in nature? There's so many reasons, so many different reasons. But looking at this flower here, it's form and it has function, it's intelligence, and plants evolve mathematically, intelligently. So some of the reasons why you have these geometric patterns here, they say that the form helps it regulate temperature. Why would a flower want to regulate its temperature and stay warmer? So it can attract insects, right? Because you know how insects are attracted to warmer temps. Um, Also, it can be a guide for pollinators. You ever think about how a pollinator sees things? If you ever looked it up online, if you haven't looked it up, look it up online, how a pollinator sees things. Oh my goodness. UV light, geometric patterns. It's like when a plane comes in and for landing, it's a signal like, hey, we're here. Because think about, you're a little pollinator, you're a little fly amongst giant elephant ears, and nowadays we have so many man-made objects and stuff. So it's a way for the flowers to be found, to attract the pollinators. Easier collection as well. So if we are pollinators, and that's why I'm a big fan of native plants, because native plants attract native pollinators, which in some areas are endangered. Unfortunately, the honeybee, I love honey, don't get it twisted, but the honeybee is not a native bee here. And it has to, the Florida, the honeybee competes with our native pollinators, and a lot of our native pollinators are dying off. So when we plant native plants, we attract those, we boost the populations, it's good for the ecosystem. And also these geometric shapes are like a lock and key for the pollinators parts that actually collect the honey. It makes it easier for them to walk on it, to navigate, because they've evolved together. So it goes hand in hand, if that makes sense. So
And Martina, with your pollinators, I remember when we had the Senna alata and the Senna occidentalis. You say it's native to Florida. It's definitely not native to Texas. We drew some of the prettiest wasp, most colorful pollinator bugs that I have ever seen before. And they came because we had those specific flowers. We had never had those pollinators before, and we grew those flowers and we did get different pollinators in our area.
nice. I love it. And some of the senna species are I'm pretty sure native to Texas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little something.
Somebody asked a question. Let me find it again. Tatiana, you said something about soursop. Does that grow up there in New York? Just curious.
Soursop in New York.
Okay, well,
Probably not, Lanita, unless it's in a greenhouse. I think that's more of a tropical plant, but you never know. Hey, you learn something new every day. You know what I mean? Shoot.
right, right. Yeah, someone was asking about medicinal salves. And let me tell you, if you have some calendula, that's a multi-purpose plant. It can go a long way. Calendula is good in your garden. It is a, accompanying a plant. It's good for the oils. It's good for everything. Martina, you made that. You made a calendula salve. That is like the bomb diggity.
Look, I'm drinking calendula right now, and when you soak calendula for like if you do a cold infusion overnight, it's also mucilaginous. It's moist,
Mm,
and the flowers are so good. I'm telling you, when I want to cleanse
mm,
and I feel like I've been slacking, I drink calendula. It's my go-to for so much. I love calendula, and um, try growing it. It's a
yeah.
great pollinator plant, and if you're growing veggies and stuff, you got to go ahead and get the whatchamacallit, bring the flowers so your fruits and veggies can be pollinated, right?
What's Roby's plant? The merry-go-round?
Oh yeah, the merry-go-round. That's what she calls the marigold. The merry-go-round is good for your stomach ache. She'll tell you everything is good for her. She has her own common names, by the way. Oh, don't forget
See?
squash flowers, guys. Anybody eat squash flowers? They're so pretty.
Them things good.
Mhm.
I'm hearing y'all talk about okra flowers and squash flowers, but I'm kind of thinking on the growing. If I eat the flowers, am I gonna get the okra?
No, but I mean, it's
So
like
disclaimer.
gotta pick or grow a
Asia,
lot of
just
them.
leave a little something. Just leave a little something, something. Or you can be like me and plant 100 okras in one bed and see what happens. Because I already know. I'm like, wow, they all came up. I'm gonna have so
Now
many okras
what?
this year, y'all. Okra for the hair. Okra is for everything. Shoot.
We're going to Martina house.
Come on, we're gonna have the okra village. Shoot.
Ooh,
Oh,
that sounds
okay,
good.
Asia's like gumbo.
okay.
Don't tell Chef Kenny, Asia. Don't tell Chef Kenny.
Oh boy. All right. Are there any other flowers we want to bring up? There's so many flowers. Oh my gosh. And also,
Mhm.
this is not just specific to flowers because this can be found in all plant parts, but I just wanted to point out some of the flowers that are fragrant. like my favorite lavender, but other ones too. We know with that aromatic property, that means that they are what? For those of y'all that know, anti.
Antimicrobial, antiviral, viral, viral. You know what I mean, y'all.
They are a vibe. But if you got some bacteria vibes, they are antibacterial vibes. Bad
Yeah,
bacteria.
that part. Yeah.
There we go.
I saw an Instagram post today that said, plants say, "Hey, I think I'm just going to shake my genitals in the sun." And human says, that's fragrant.
I need that meme.
Don't try this at home unless you're me.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I told you I was reading in botany in the day. So I started completely from the beginning because I've been all over the book, but um who was it? Martina, was it or it was either Martina or Lanita or both of y'all together. One of the herbalist lounges we was talking about the ginkgo trees, how they only plant the male ginkgo trees in the city. But also when you have like male plants, then the flowers, the pollen just gets all over you. That it could be an indicator of a male flowering plant too, because the pollen just is everywhere.
See, there we go.
I would sing a certain song, but I'm not going to. By the Yin Yang Twins, though. But I think about plants when I hear that song.
Oh, goodness. The pollen drop down the walls, okay? It is what it is. It is what it is.
But y'all, for a lot of people, different plants that they say that cause allergies, they actually also will cure it, or there's something close to it that are good for it. Because the goldenrod is supposed to be a plant that causes allergies, but it is also very good for drying up that allergic rhinitis, the runny nose, and that postnasal drip. So ragweed, some of the different ragweeds definitely are accused of causing all kinds of allergy problems, but some of them are actually very good for as antihistamine. So know that, and your stinging nettles, a lot of different things. So just because it causes one thing doesn't mean that it won't take care of it. Research your plants there. Things that you think are just junk weed in your yard, they can really be great for you. So don't dig them up, cut them up. Don't poison them. See what is useful to you.
Speaking of poisonous, and what Clarissa has stated in the chat, all skeet skeet, it makes me think of one of my favorite plants that we've mentioned this evening, which is the castor plant. The castor plant, basin plant. And I thought when I first learned about its flowers, how it has a male flower and a female flower, and they're separate, two different flowers. And if you've ever seen them, they're completely different looking flowers, and they're so beautiful. And that's called monoecious, when they have the male and the female flower on the same plant, but they're separate. And I think it's so dope how, when the when you have the seed pods of the castor, when those seed pods are ripe, what do? They bust and the seeds shoot. I've actually seen one like pop and shoot out just to ensure that the seed is, gets out and is able to be germinated. So it's just you see these underlying similarities in nature, and it's just a beautiful thing. So, most of the time. All right. That's all.
Unless you're the one that's allergic to it.
Asia. Oh, you can't talk about this in a class with students. It won't go well.
Oh, look. Okay, Martina. A white crane just flew by. Yesy.
Uh-oh.
Martina got to take over.
Yes,
Sign
in
me
the
out.
middle of the city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just muted. I didn't know if y'all were about to say something. But yeah, just as you said, just as you said, you know, look up the indigenous weeds there and see how they can be used. You said don't poison them because they could actually be useful for the things that they're causing. So yeah, just as you said that, it like flew right over my head.
Message.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Before we move on to any upcoming events, y'all have any alibis or any events that you want to share, actually? Okay, all right. Well, we definitely know it's going down at Martina's house when this okra sprouts and starts to grow. So you have flowers and okra pods available.
It'll be ready
And
during
gumbo for everybody.
Yes, you already know it. Mm. And okra chips, if y'all ain't had any, get put on. I'm just trying
Ooh,
to tell y'all.
yes.
No, I'm gonna take okra in any form. You got it straight off the plant. You know that's gonna hurt, but it's gonna be good. Vinegar chipped. I'm be like Forrest Gump, but with okra.
You about to get a Thug Life okra tattoo too this summer. So I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I could get like a praying mantis holding okra. Like I'm with it.
And then we're gonna use okra mucilage for the healing of the tattoo. Now, how you like that? Okay.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, a tattoo healing salve with okra. Ooh, okay, be quiet. Don't say that.
Trademark. No. No, but yeah, no, that's cool. Clarissa, you are cracking me up as per usual.
Mhm, I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Okay, so
Oh,
okay.
Asia, you put the thing up there about our YouTube channel. If any of y'all are interested, we do have a YouTube video about the rutabaga. So you can go check out our YouTube page. There's a video there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and beauty berry syrup.
And then
And
it's
using roses for beauty.
Oh, yes, definitely.
okay. All right, sorry. I was trying to find the unmute button. There it is. So you can catch us on YouTube. If you just search at Herbalist Lounge, you will find us there. And then also if you know you want to catch something in the recording, then it's definitely there too. We upload the Herbalist Lounges there as well. All right. So for everybody that is new or would like to gift the kitchen making or excuse me, kitchen medicine making workshop. That is also available at herbalish-lounge.thinkific.com. If anybody's able to type that in the chat, then please do so. But then you know, basically we're dealing with kitchen medicinals. So everything, the spices, the herbs, the actual food that you can use as medicine right there at your fingertips. So whether it is edible, topical, whether you're using it as a tea, um, or anything like that. I mean, Lanita even made popsicles, and all of us were salivating. So, all the stuff in that class. And then also, so Some of you went to Zoom, some of you got the email and just clicked on the link that brought you straight to Zoom. If you would like to get that, because we know IG does not necessarily allow you to click on things and descriptions, then feel free to subscribe to our MailChimp site. You see that on the screen. It's Herbalist. I can't say herbalist today. Herbalist dash lounge dot mailchimpsites.com, and then you will get that link sent straight to your inbox right before the Herbalist Lounge starts. And okay, so for everybody that this is their first time coming in, again, we thank you so much for coming. We've had so much fun tonight, and we hope that you have too. Please bring back a friend or an herb curious friend or somebody that is definitely into plants. We do this every second Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 2 a.m. if you are in Germany.
Right.
But yes, we love to do this. We love, you all coming to join us and just clown with us and, share information about plants. So thank you for coming, everybody. And we'll love to see you again next month. So I'll let Martina and Lanita take it away.
Well,
Oh,
thank
peace,
you,
y'all.
everybody.
This was a good build. It was a really good build. I really appreciate y'all for participating and sharing everything with us.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you everyone for tuning in and just vibing with us. We really appreciate it. And let's go out and get us some medicinal and edible flowers. You feel me? Thank you. All right, y'all. Well, enjoy, peace, power, and green blessings.
Green blessings.
All right, peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Oh, and I forgot, if y'all want to share your information in the chat, like your IG, your Facebook, then please feel free to drop it in there. I'll give us a couple seconds here to type. You can find us at Herbalist Lounge on Instagram or Facebook. All right. Y'all have a great one. Peace.
Peace.